Let's look at impact. Ooh, look at that. Now you see. Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here, and I want to introduce you to our main kinesiologist here at Wisdom in Golf.
Hey guys.
Please welcome Munashe Masawi. And this guy is just, the guy, of course, played football at the University of Queens, and he's also graduated in kinesiology. So he's our official resident kinesiologist here at Wisdom in Golf. And we're so proud to have you on board, man.
Thank you.
This kid is a smart cookie. He looks a little bashful at first. I know, he's got to cut his teeth.
Yeah.
He just started in golf. So today, as you notice, we got him all set up with the MySwing. So he's going to be our beginner, and we're going to introduce him to the technology of the MySwing, and which is something that you're really intrigued by.
Correct. Yeah.
And you can really see how this is going to help you in your future endeavors.
Right. Yeah. This is just like a stepping stone to understand more what you're going to use to apply in the real world.
Yeah.
And, start somewhere small like this would be a good way to build from.
There you go. Yeah. So I get to use him as my sounding board whenever something new comes along, and I need to back up my personal theories, and it's obviously going to be based on human anatomy, and it's nice to have a wonderful validation by someone like this. So we're going to do a couple of swings. Now your dominant hand is
left. Yeah.
He's a left-hand dominant, so he's like my wife. And so he's playing to his forehand like Bubba Watson. So we're going to do, now we had one lesson.
Right, yeah.
What do you remember from that first lesson? What are we doing here?
So here we're trying to focus on the ball, hit the stem of the, pretty much down near the dandelion.
There you go, all right, good.
Yeah, so don't focus the ball, just try to hit the grass and follow through the swing so your ball goes to the target as always. That's what you want to focus on. So make sure you know your points and keeping your hips aligned with the path of the ball.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's a start.
Yeah.
So we got a dandelion in disguise. We're cutting through the stem in that direction. Correct. Okay, so I'll let you do a couple swings. All right. Yeah, man. Good. So if you do that, you just move your intermediate point. Right. If you want to swing from there, I'm cool with that. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Good. So let's do a couple more. Excellent. So what was your focus on that one?
My focus was more on swinging, but not the fall through. It was just hitting the ball a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So you saw a ball there.
Right. I did.
Excellent. So that's a good shot then.
Yeah. But not the perfect shot.
Exactly. Yeah. So put your eyes there. Yeah. See the sole of the club ready to cut through that stem. Yeah. Now, do you know how to find the right distance between yourself and the ball? Did we talk about that in the last lesson?
A little bit, but I don't remember.
So your anatomy, and that's one thing that's really important for everyone to understand. When you come to a lesson, you're going to be sometimes overwhelmed. You're trying to digest a little piece, and I keep talking, and then the rest of it goes over your head. So there is, don't worry. If you forget something, it's not that you forgot. It's just you didn't get to that digestion point yet. Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is do a little practice swing and see where the club wants to cut grass. Beautiful. Do you see where it passed? Right there, right?
Yeah.
Good. So set your club down right there. Do one more practice swing and confirm that spot. Okay. One more. So notice you keep reaching away from yourself, and the club keeps wanting to pass there. Okay. Do that again. No, don't reach away from yourself. Let the club come to you. There you go. There. So you notice that? Yeah. That's where it passed. See, that's where gravity wants to place you.
Correct. Right.
Dynamically, right? So now take that machine, bring it to the ball. Beautiful. So you feel closer to the ball now, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not about you know, because now you feel close, and a lot of people at this point feel too close to the ball because they think that the ball is still their target. Whereas all you're going to do is let gravity cut through the grass. Go ahead. Notice contact was better.
Right, yeah, it was.
Beautiful. So you ready to record a swing?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and take your setup. Okay. Sav, go ahead and push record. We're going to do 7-iron. All right. And stay right where you are. Don't move.
You're good.
Okay, you're good to go. Cut through the stem.
Oh my.
Good. Hey, wait a sec. So we'll do duff. Okay. Save. Good. So that's your duff one, which is great. Okay, excellent. So we're going to be able to compare that nicely.
Okay.
So go ahead and set up again.
Stay super still and I'll tell you when to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. That's a much better swing. Excellent. So put
Thin to win.
thin to win. Good. Save. Now, the interesting part when we're working with this machine is that you have to be still to get the, you know, to get a swing recorded. Right. And being still at address is not what you want to do. You don't want to be static. And it's very hard to go from static to dynamic motion. So the fact that you did, you know, and this is what typically happens to a lot of golfers. They're, you know, like in tennis, you're waiting for a serve, you're in motion, and you're ready to you know, to rocket the ball back. Right. In baseball, you're waiting for a dynamic pitch to come your way. Yeah. But in golf, the ball's just sitting there, and then you become static with it, and then when you think, well, what do I need to do to get out of this, you know, block of ice? Yeah, exactly. And so what we do is, you know, once you're set and ready to go, you go back to, well, what's your task? Yeah. And we talked about how, you know, the dandelion stem that you're about to cut, if that was your full-time job and you wanted to cut stems all day for 8 hours a day, and then tomorrow you got to get up and do it again. Yeah. Well, you're not going to yank that club around like a pit bull with a rag doll. No. So you're going to use the weight of the instrument to cut through the stem in a very effortless manner. Right. And so that second swing looked very much the part. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice little review here and check out the two different swings. Right. And then that'll give you a nice understanding of what your, you know, what your body is supposed to do to perform the task. Okay. All right? Yeah. Let's have a look. All right. Now, on top here, that was his duff swing, and on the bottom here was his thin to win swing. So if we look at a little play right here, swing doesn't look too bad, does it? Yeah. So let's go to address position is pretty much the same. Now this is typical of a new golfer where you notice your head is kind of tilted forward. Yeah, because that's you getting ready to hit the ball, right? Because you're not, you know, you're much more mesmerized by what's going on with the golf ball than, you know, so you're still trying to figure out how we're going to put the ball over there. Yeah. Okay, so if we look at into the backswing, right? So as you go into the backswing, you notice there's a little bit of weight going to the outside of your, right? So your center of gravity is kind of moving a little bit too much to the right. Now the foot position, don't worry about that. They're supposed to look square right here, but we're still trying to figure out what the best angle to put the sensors on the feet are. And you know, because I'm a little bit of a rookie too with this system, but there's a lot of good information here, so bear with me. As we get to, you know, just about the top of the backswing, everything looks pretty similar, doesn't it? There's the top of the backswing. So the first thing we're going to be working on with you is how to load your arm club unit properly. Right. Okay? You know, there's a way that the wrists hinge, and there's a way that the right arm folds so that you get the maximum efficiency out of that without the collapse, right? So now on the way down, see how your arms kind of come back, just like a baseball player, right? So the arms look a little collapsed at the top, but then your arm unit starts to look pretty good right here.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. Yeah. And now we're just coming into, you notice how you're starting to unload a little bit early, right? Yeah. So you're going after the ball here on that one.
Look at the focus is the ball right now.
That's it. Whereas, here. Pretty similar. And now let's look at impact on both. Very similar. Looks like the bottom one looks like you're clearing a little bit more. So we'll put some angles on that. And then your finish. You notice, watch the other finish. So if we look at the normal speed here, let's go back to some settings, and we're going to do thighs, pelvis, shoulders, rib cage. And let's see what that looks like here. And we'll do top view here. There we go. So you can see from the top view, here it is in regular motion. Now I'm trying to, those look so similar. That's thin to in, check. And that's duff, check, okay, good. So address position, that looks pretty good. Going into the backswing. See, that's good. You notice how everything's moving together going back. So as a beginner, you know, the way that your body is moving in the backswing is actually very good. That's what we like to advocate. You don't want to have anything locking up. All of your body parts are basically gathering together. And then there's the top of the backswing. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? So it looks like you've gathered quite nicely. Yeah. Now we look at going down. See how you're kind of deploying a little bit early?
Yeah, in the first one.
So the duff, the one that you put into the ground, and this is where you notice you hit that, you hit it a little thin.
Yeah.
So if you release too soon, at the moment of impact, you'll bottom out, and as you get to the ball, you'll actually catch the ball on the way up. Right. Or you'll hit the ground behind the ball. So in both instances, you can see the bottom one here, you're actually clearing better. So at impact, you're only 24 degrees here with the shoulders and 32 here. So you're clearing a lot better with the second one. That's what I wanted to see right there. Because it did move a lot more freely because you got, all caught up with the ground there. Yeah. And then you notice how everything kind of blends in and catches up here. Yeah. Sure. See how that the club face stays more open on the top one, and the second one it's kind of rotated. Yeah. So and then you go into the finish. Yeah. So you'll notice that, so phase number one would be arm club unit, how to load and unload it. Then number two is how to support it. So we'd want to make sure that your center of gravity stays a lot more inside your feet. So we'd have you toe your feet open a little bit more. And then I'm going to show you how, as you turn, being aware that the weight's staying on the inside of the arches of your feet, so that once you've stabilized your center of gravity, the center of the swing, which is the top portion there of the arm swing. So let's go back to here. So let me go back to address position. So the sternal notch is basically the center of the arm club unit. Right. And that's sitting on top of your center of gravity, which is the centermost point in your body where you have equal weight up and down, front to back, and side to side. Yeah. So if the center of gravity stays inside the feet, then the center of the swing is going to stay a lot more in place. And because you don't have any reactions to out of balance conditions, things will become a lot more consistent. Okay. All right, so phase one is the arm club unit loading and unloading so that we start firing some shots out there with more power and take advantage of that freaking beast that you have, right? And then once we got that thing slinging out there, then we make it more consistent with, having, a more centered center of gravity. And the industry has a tendency to start locking up the legs so that you don't have any excess motion, which is the wrong thing to do. Your body is already knows how to balance itself. Just needs a couple of nice tasks to get you into that department. Correct. Cool?